Hey, hey, beautiful people. It is the 7th of the 11th month, November 2013 at 10:41 a.m. These frequencies are so freaking amazing. Oh, it's really affecting us all in various ways, depending on whether our focus is linear in watching the 3 and 4D world collapse and dissolve, which it must before we can go into the higher levels, frequencies of 5D, 6D, and much higher Earth. Many of us have been preparing ourselves for quite some time to be able to hold these frequencies. Um, for many of us, it started quite a few years ago as we were looking to find those frequencies of home. And many of us did had some extra help through little friends of ours that grow in the fungus kingdom. This little beauty right here is called a psilocybin, and it is a magic mushroom. They grow wild all around here. You see them in compost piles and gardens and horse ranches and everywhere else. They're very easily identifiable because they have a little sun on the top. They have gills on the bottom. These gills sometimes are white when you pick them, sometimes are black, but they have a purple ring around the top of the stem right there, where when the cap opens, it leaves that ring. And whenever you pick them, they turn blue on the end where they were cut, picked, bruised from. That's how you determine your quality magic mushrooms. The more blue they turn, the more psilocybin they have within them. I had not done a vision quest in 20 years, but a good friend of mine asked me to take a vacation with her. She was taking off a week and going to her her vacation home, which turns out to be at the very other end. My God, this seems like a deja vu. I just lost my previous recording, and my neighbor was driving out during the recording, and here he is again as I'm doing the second recording, and I'm talking about the same things. It's like, that's pretty strange. Anyway, my friend Della asked me to come experience a vacation with her. And so that's where I've been the past week up until this past Sunday. And she had never had the experience, as Jimi Hendrix called it. Are you experienced? Well, I definitely am. But I don't need to be anymore. Della had wanted to activate her heart chakra and had been stepping in and out of the bliss as the heart chakra starts spinning, but had not fully activated it. That's a transition to get from the head to the heart and into a fully activated heart chakra and anchor it to make it permanent and to be in that state of bliss all the time. I've been there for over 4 years now, and with each additional chakra activation, it expands your light field in that light quotient and the bliss 10 times. And then you've got higher chakra downloads, and you've got, these are initiations. They're expansions of the light body as we're going through this process of enlightenment and Ascension, because that literally is what Ascension is. It is the activation, the initiations into the activations of the higher frequencies in light within the physical being. This time it's within the physical being. Before 1992, when you would activate your heart chakra, boom, you were out of here. He was gone, just like my hero Enoch, taken in the whirlwind. And now we are here going through this process and transforming these physical bodies. So anyway, Della has been wanting to activate and anchor fully her heart chakra, and she had heard about the experiences persons have with the bliss, which these little guys give you. it's interesting because these are a tool that people can choose to experience, to take them, to witness the higher levels of frequency, light, and bliss before you're activated. But I had not done these in over 20 years myself. The last ones I did were the Amanita muscaria Siberian red ones with the white dots all over that you do a little bit of for days and days and days, and then once your body is saturated, then you go for the vision quest. Those were the last ones that I'd done, and that was in Alaska in the early 1990s. I had felt that I did not need them since, and I just proved this past week that I did not need them. But anyway, I had a wonderful experience with Dell as she was wanting to have the experience and feel what it's like to hold the higher vibrations. For me, I found that I'm already there. I do not need these things anymore. And that was a good proof for myself. As we went into the experience and we were right on the beach, watching the waves coming in, and of course, when you're holding these higher frequencies, just like I do now, magic happens all around you. Well, the magic was there. It was in the clouds, it was in the beach, it was in the energies we could see. It was as the X-class flares were coming through at the same time. It was in the birds and how they would just... There was a high wind that day and the birds would come right in front of us and sit there and soar, still in the air while they're letting the currents hold them, and then they would dive off, and it was like you could almost see them in stills, just like an old movie projector where you would come up at a still shot or a pause shot, and you could actually see what was going on with the animal or the waves or the energies or whatever it was at that individual time. It was like you could stop time. I went into the experience wishing to further activate my pineal and pituitary and connect it to the Ascension chakra. I felt like I had some small blockages up in there, which was like, it was like being in a 1930s or 40s old movie theater where people were smoking and you had the film rolling from the projector behind, shooting it up to the large screen in front of everybody, and persons were sitting there smoking cigarettes, and it would cloud the vision. You could see the various levels going through where the light was hitting the smoke before it hit the big screen. And I had felt like that's what was going on in my own vision these past years as I was going through the activation process. Many of you have heard about me stating clearly that what I have chosen to do is to go inside, into the heart, into the energy field, to activate, anchor, and actualize my heart space rather than focusing on the vision. That the truth is weighed out and found within the heart. The knowingness is found within the heart and not the head. So I have been very, 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 and the head can tell you lies. You can see multiple, and it's not lies, it's multiple timelines, it's multiple patterns, it's multiple possibilities that the head can tell you sometimes that you don't know if what you are seeing is exactly what is in this reality that we're existing in now. Are you seeing a different and alternate parallel reality or timeline or something like that? So I always chose to go into the heart and weigh out the energies I was feeling, sensing, and gain that knowingness rather than doing the vision. And now that I have come to that point of holding the higher frequencies and am quite certain when I feel something that is what I'm feeling, sensing, knowing, now I'm trying to realign with the vision to see a much more clear vision in full screen, full color, non-stop, like watching a movie. And so rather than the stills that I had been seeing, or sometimes black and white, or sometimes I just wasn't getting anything up here because the vision was too cloudy. I went into this vision quest to open that up, and it worked. So I'm there, and with that, it's given me a much greater level of sight, and I'm ready to start. And I got a lot of other messages while I'm there too. One of my other messages was that humanity is in a holding pattern right now, as many persons are going through their stuff on the linear level, and they've got to go through this stuff and cleanse out their frequencies and realign with a higher vision rather than a linear 3 and 4D vision. They've got to reattach with what is truth and not the illusion that we're all collectively creating right there. They've got to step into their power. They've got to step into their ascension. And so we're going to have a while, which, many of us had heard messages that people were saying that this was going to be instantaneous on December 21st, 2012, and all these other different times. I never felt that. I realized that this time it is a process, and it's a process of our personally having to ascend our physical beings. Nobody can do it for us. Nobody can do it to us, but we can help each other out. And that was what my message is, because right now we're still in a time of needing money, and even though I'm living off the grid as most as I can, there are still things that I need around here and enjoy that requires money for. So part of my message during the experience and thereafter in speaking to Dell was to provide a means of energy exchange where I can focus my energies on other individuals to help them raise their personal frequencies, to identify energy blockages, to help them heal, to help them go through their ascension process, but on an individual level. Those of you who have been following my videos know that I've taught ascension and manifestation and chakra activation, and have given freely my experience of the process, as I'm one of the way showers, one of the first going through this process on the planet, and one of the first to handle the highest levels of light and frequency on this planet, to integrate with all my higher selves by cleaning up all the negativity, my perceptions, and shifting my consciousness into my heart and into that energy field rather than being focused on the 3 and 4D world. Not everybody is doing that. There are a lot of people out there that are out there helping humanity go through their processes rather than and working on both that expanded perception, but also within the illusion, to help bring others out of their illusion, to help them understand that it is an illusion and it is all about magnetics that are created by our thoughts and our emotions. That's how the experience we call life is manifested. Well, anyway, as we were having our experience, everything just was accented, was in support of the frequencies that already hold within the field. Doing these little jewels did not increase my frequency one iota. While on the other hand, I was listening to Dell as she was going, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you can experience these frequencies." Well, the integration with all my higher levels of self, my light body self, which is my Arcturian starship commander, my angelic self, Mana Ra, my archangelic self, Archangel Michael, and most recently Metatron, which are all various levels of expansion that sometimes you can see behind me. If you tilt this computer screen back, tilt your monitor back, and you're looking at it up, many times you can see behind me my energetic field and how it affects, how the digital camera picks up my light body and it affects whatever is behind me. I don't see it during these videos as I'm making it, but many times when I'm reviewing the videos, you can see it clearly. Well, that energy field that you see, that expansion that's going out, those different layers, like a bubble within a bubble within a bubble, or a ball within a ball within a ball, are layers of frequency. That is me on my higher selves that I've integrated with. My last being with Malene LaFont and the integration with Archangel Metatron, not Archangel Metatron, but Lord Metatron, which gave me my path into Prime Creator. Well, that attuning to those frequencies and integration, because of the light body initiations, and that experience was my 15th light body initiation, and there's smaller initiations within each greater initiation. That experience in frequency that I began to hold with Malene through my integration with Metatron, that frequency that I'm holding right now, and perpetually, 24/7, I don't leave that frequency. That is the frequency that I was always looking for when I used to do these little wonderful magic mushrooms. I don't need to do these anymore. But I can tell you people, those of you who do, you will experience the frequencies that those of us in our higher initiations are holding at all times. That is the goal, to hold those frequencies. It's not a goal to do the mushrooms, but the mushrooms can be a tool so you can experience the frequencies. And oh my goodness, it was absolutely magical. Now, I noticed that the frequencies that I hold now, I couldn't increase them by doing those, but my vision did increase. But Dell was constantly in awe of the frequencies and the bliss. She wanted to do them a second time several days later, right before the end of our trip. And that second time I did not do them. I realized there's no need for me to do them anymore. I'm not gaining anything off of it, like many of us were seeking when we would do our vision quests, whether it's, you know, the magic mushrooms or peyote or ayahuasca or, you know, any of that. If you're in the frequencies, you don't need them anymore. But if you're trying to get to the frequencies, they can show you what you're looking for. Anyway, Dale wanted to do them again, and in this experience, the second time, I did not do them with her, but since I was very in tune with her field, there was something quite interesting that I experienced that I've never had the experience of before. Many of us know of what's called a contact high when we're around persons that are on vision quests and things like that. Many of us are used to feeling others' energy fields and the frequency that they hold when we come in to allow them to merge with our auric field, or when we project ourselves into their auric field, or they project themselves into our auric field. We can feel their frequencies. I could feel the same frequencies that I was holding within my body coming through Dell, and it was just like 2 points in that Vesica Pisces. I'm holding my frequency, she's holding hers, and as I got close to her, I could feel those frequencies, the same as I hold, coming from her as she was trying to express the bliss and frequencies that she was experiencing from her mushroom trip. And that was really, really cool. And then something else I noticed, from in front and behind her, where her heart chakra was spinning to create the bliss, I could feel this heat, almost 2.5 feet. It was like a bubble that was just around her heart chakra. It wasn't in the upper chakras or the lower chakras. It was centered right there at the heart and the solar plexus, and I could feel the heat coming off from her, and I could see the energy field coming from her. And so I knew that these little things were giving her an experience that is what I feel perpetually, constantly. And hearing her description of it, I could tell that's what was going on. It was the most amazing thing. Well, anyway, back to it. I'm glad that I had the experience, and that I'm shown I don't need to do these things anymore. I'm there. There are so many persons that are looking for these frequencies, and it's found inside. It's found with the activation of the light body and the higher initiations. It's found going through the chakra initiations. So very wonderful. Now back to what I was saying about part of the messages that I received, and something that Dell really helped me to open up to. Many of you know that I am one who holds the vision of this planet and humanity not using money, about totally getting out of the use of money and going to a different type of energy exchange. There are uses for money. You might have something that you wish for me, that for an energy exchange, what you have to give might not be what I so desire. And so you've got to find what it is that I desire, so that you can trade what you have for something that I want. Well, money takes the place of that. There is a good thing about money, but money is not a quality currency, because truly your time and my time have equal value. And these levels of how much money people can make, where they rate their currency, their level of exchange, their hourly value, or moment-to-moment value, it is in a different ratio than everybody else. And that should not be. It should be in the exact same ratio as everybody else, even with experience. And I do understand expertises and stuff like that. It's just like the level of frequencies that I hold within my field. What I'm exploring now is a way for an energy exchange to come with people, for me to share my frequencies with you, so it can raise your frequencies, to go in and help to open chakras. I can help somebody open chakras, but I cannot help you activate your chakras. Activation of chakras and turning them into the power centers requires a personal individual's focus. Those activations of chakras are the ascension. You can only ascend yourself. I cannot do that for you. I can describe my process of ascension and frequency expansion, but I can't do it for you. That's something each individual has to do themselves. But I can help, and I can guide, and I can lead you through all the baloney that's put out there by so many new people that are making a business out of this. But I don't need to make a business out of this, but I do need some income for my energy exchanges. Now, there's something that I'm going to be doing in the future, is allowing persons who are needing help, who I can help, who requests my help, but for a monetary exchange. And along with that, I know many people who are like me that are getting out of money might not have the money to exchange, but we can exchange other things equally. and I'm willing to work with that. But in these next days and weeks, I'm going to come out with a video discussing what I have to offer as energy exchanges to share, to help you on your ascension process if you need help, to answer questions, to be there for you in a small 2 to 3 hour package for the monetary exchange. Now, I am going to keep it open also for those persons who don't have much money. I'm probably going to do like to create a list of persons who can do a smaller energy exchange, like for say $10 on a group level, where I can focus intent and energies sending to that group of individuals on a list who want the energy exchange to help them for their healing, their enlightenment, their clearing of lower vibrations, the whole works, but not on a personal level with that low of an energy exchange. And even if persons don't have the finances for that, I would still participate, allowing them in to participate. I understand not having finances, but for those who do have finances, there are many persons in the New Age industry, because it's really become an industry, that are in the yoga, teaching Kundalini yoga or pranic yoga, or in the natural foods business, or Reiki healers, persons who are not activated and who really don't, are just becoming newly awakened to what Ascension is, but they are making their money off of the New Age industry. There's a lot of persons out there who have heard about Ascension, who are in the New Age industries, organics, natural foods, veganism, whatever it is, all the healing modalities, all the expanded consciousness modalities, who themselves aren't going through their activation and initiation process. They're really just starting to find out about Ascension. It is those persons who I choose to work with in what I'm offering persons to help raise their frequency, to help enlighten them as to what's going on, to help them learn so they can better teach others who are curious as to what's going on with these energies and frequencies. What is happening to Mother Earth and humanity and us as individuals? There's many persons out there who are in the New Age industry that don't even comprehend what Ascension is. And anyway, it's those persons who are making money off of it that can afford to help a good energy exchange for what services I offer. There are persons who, and what I do is very much like a Reiki. I'm projecting my energies. I can project them any place in this universe and throughout any dimension I so choose. And you can certainly feel them too when I do. My mission until now is to be expanding my light to the highest levels of light and frequency that any human can do on this planet. And I've been doing that. I've been doing my homework for a lifetime and for many lifetimes. And in the levels that I'm hitting right now, there are very few persons on this planet that hold the frequencies and the light I do. So anyway, I was doing my work for the ascension of Mother Earth for years and years and years. And now we're in a waiting period as humanity is going through individual ascension processes and joining those of us that are holding fifth dimensional and higher energies while embodied the planet. We're waiting for the collective of humanity to go through their ascension process, basically. And so with that, my mission is pretty much complete. I'm already holding the highest possible levels of light and frequencies that an individual can hold at this time, and that's ever expanding and increasing, and I'll continue doing that. But I can also at this time veer away, because I'm constantly holding it for Mother Earth and humanity anyway, the same frequencies and light quotient. But I can veer away and look more at helping individuals who in turn will help other individuals going through their ascension process. And I am in need of a monetary energy exchange from others. And so that's where I'm going. Alright, so my next video will be about that. This video is pretty much on the magic of the frequencies and what's going on right now. People, if you've never been experienced, you might wish to think about doing those. You can find these in you might be able to find them on the internet. There's probably a lot of people out there that can provide you with them. You'll find them in compost piles and out horse fields and cow pastures and stuff like that around. And it's a really cool thing to do if you want to experience the higher frequencies and what it's like to be at the higher levels of ascension and holding those frequencies in your field. You can experience what those of us who have done that have already accomplished. And I tell you, those of us who have done that, we don't need these little jewels anymore, but they certainly were a good tool to get us to where we are now. Without that, and in the 1970s and 1980s, when I was doing them to feel those frequencies at home, because the density of Mississippi and the Old South during that time, oh my God, I did not want to be on this planet. And only now, as we're holding these higher frequencies, and it is in my life 24/7, do I feel at home on this planet. And we're channeling it into Mother Earth, so this will be the natural state of being on this planet. So thank you to these little guys. And anyway, okay, what else is going on planet? We have got just CME after CME after CME M class coming in right now. For those of us who are holding those higher levels of light because of our initiation in light body expansion, these frequencies incoming from the sun and the cosmos are super amplifying our fields and really taking us into levels that are just indescribable. Indescribable and not even, you can't even comprehend them if you're not activated without doing something like this. But when you are, you don't need those anymore. That's the direction we're going. It's that feeling, that mind state, that level of frequencies, that is what we're expanding into. Oh, we're going to have more and more and more solar activity as the sun's firing back up and sending off flares again in CMEs. And we've got magnetics coming from the galactic center. We have got stargates that the energies are still coming through, just like the planetary Merkaba that was on 7/29 to August 25th. Those are rites of passage for, those are open and will always be open for rites of passage for persons choosing to go through their ascension process. We form portals with our group meditations that are connecting us to energies from the other side of this universe and into the multiverse, and really all the way back home to Prime Creator, as well as to the Galactic Center, to channel those energies into Mother Earth. Those portals don't close unless we close them. And And those frequencies of the whole thing are in a constant state of incoming. And if you're really attuned and can decipher it, you can feel, just like feeling an individual and their resonant frequency. You can feel the various portals and the various stargates and the various, just like feeling the vortex. And that energy is specific. It's just like my energy and how that differs from your energy. It's just like our fingerprints. The energies are specific to each frequency. And sometimes we feel the whole thing. That's generally where I stand. But because I feel it as one, the whole and complete picture. But there are little tornadoes within that picture that emanate certain frequencies that we can go into for our experience and to have definitions of the parts and pieces that make up the whole. And it's really, really, really interesting to identify parts and pieces and to experience the whole. It's how do you describe something like that? You can't really describe something like that to anybody who has not experienced themselves. Experienced themselves. And there comes a time when you don't need that kind of experience. And so anyway, this is going to be kind of a mushroomy vid. And how do you explain all it is? How do you put to words that which there are no words for? It's an experience. And so anyway, 3644 as a look down. Wow. Frequencies are just freaking amazing. We've got an X-class flare 3.3 that popped off yesterday that we might be getting hit with tomorrow. I don't imagine that is going to be big to our electronics, but those of us with an expanded field, these are our solar sails, like sails on a boat. These are our solar sails. We catch the solar winds and the frequencies in our expanded field, our solar sails. So even though this X flare in CME was popping off in a different direction on the eastern limb of the sun, those of us with largely expanded solar sails, our greatly increased light body, our field, we're going to feel this pretty intensely. And that is the pleasure of being in the higher states of the light body, the higher vibrations, the higher frequencies, the greatly expanded field, because we get to experience the bliss buzz of all this. It's going to affect humanity too. Humanity, for the most part, is still linear, and they are into the Maya, into the illusion, not realizing that their thought and their emotion, their intent, is generating the magnetics for the experience they call life. And they're going to experience more and more and more crap until they finally surrender, go into their heart, activate their light body, and begin their ascension process. And so this is the holding time that we're waiting on right now. And for those persons who are on a linear path, it's going to get more and more chaotic, more and more uncomfortable, because the cosmic rays are trying to raise your frequency, and you're still focused on the illusion and not cleaning up the magnetics. The magnetics, when you think of magnetics on a linear scale, we're having cosmic rays incoming like this. But on a linear scale, you have the point of view, you have the point of the intention of that which you've been creating, and the magnetics that are spinning around that point. Now these cosmic rays, think of those magnetics spinning around the 2 points like a rubber band, and that rubber band is tightening and it's creating tension, and with the cosmic rays incoming, it's putting more pressure on that rubber band, and it's stressing out the lives and the experience of those persons who are remaining in a linear thought, rather than going inside and activating and expanding their field, where you would receive these frequencies like massive bliss buzzing. And so there's various ways of our perception with that. Those persons who are still on a linear thinking, because of that rubber band effect of the cosmic rays coming in, they're going to have more and more and more intensity and stress put on that life, just like a rubber band, until that rubber band finally pops and they realize that it's all about their thoughts, their perceptions, and the beliefs that they hold. That's what creates their experience. And then you can remove that rubber band and have a much more greatly expanded experience by not focusing on the collapsing illusion, the Maya. And this will teach them that they are creating their reality, and they have to get over the magnetics. If somebody has hurt you, you cannot keep those magnetics going on of, I hate them, they did something to me, because that is the pressure these cosmic rays are putting upon their rubber band to eventually pop it. Now, if a rubber band pops, it's going to snap and hurt you. But you can choose to relieve the tension by bringing back that point into your existence, by making it acceptable what's going on in your life, by forgiving. You know, you might not be able to forget it first, but later on you'll be able to forget it, because it was just a no thing in this life. As you expand into your higher levels of light being self and into the eternal self you are, the less you are concerned about the life experiences this go around, the less of that rubber band effect you have on you from that level. And then you start picking up the cosmic rays and experiencing bliss. Focused on those frequencies, because nothing else matters, and the new frequencies are what generates your experience for New Earth. And and this, for those persons who are the Reiki masters, the yoga instructors, the natural foods persons, those persons that are in the new age industry that are not in tune and going through their ascension process now, this is where I can help you out. And so anyway, and it will require money, because you require money from others. You're making a living off of it, so I can too. It just won't be a big one. And you know, I play on a different range. I play it with persons at this level of frequency have to have a level of integrity which is just beyond. And so, every bit you pay for, you'll get back. And truly, with the levels of light and energy and what I've worked for over the years, what I will charge for this is going to be very, very, very lightweight with the level of light and frequency that I hold in my field for that monetary hourly energy exchange or package energy exchange. So it'll be well worth it. And anyway, I've had a lot of light workers and other healers over the years ask me if I would please be the person they work with, and I had not done that, because I was here to activate Mother Earth. I was here to bring Mother Earth through this ascension process, to work on the vortexes and to do the healings and to bring her into her ascension. And so until now, I have not done that. And now the message is quite clear. It's time for me to shift gears and into that and have some comforts and some ease, some luxuries in life, because it's time that my energy value has a monetary exchange for it in a different way. So anyway, blah 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 blah. 4411 is a look down on that. That's about right. Oh man, and like asking questions about what is 1111, what is 121212, what is universal law, what's the law of one. All of these things are you know, this is what's in my knowledge and database that I can share with others for that energy exchange. And so I'll have a whole lot to give. I do not care to work with new persons going through these frequency increases and having their the diseases created by their thoughts and emotions. There's a lot of persons out there which are looking to be healed from, as a silver bullet, from the disease that is created by their individual thought and emotion in wrong energetic patterns. And it's not a wrong energetic pattern, it's right. It's absolutely right, so you can have your experience. See, we have to experience the dark, we have to experience the disease before we can truly appreciate the health, the life, the light. And we've been in 3 and 4D patterns. We've been in that night cycle for thousands of years since the fall of Atlantis. And now we're coming into the light cycle, the 5th dimensional cycle. The night cycle was the 4D, the astral, that where your magicians and sorcerers and healers and witches and even the Illuminati played. That where your gurus played, and your gods and goddesses that came to Earth and got so many people to follow them. They were playing in 4D. And once you hit 5D, you left planet. Well, now we're transforming 4D into 5D and much higher. 5D is the basis. It is that jump point so you can experience all the higher levels of frequencies like rings on a tree. And just like in my previous videos where I'm out here and you can see those levels of my light body behind me in the blue sky, that's the same levels of frequency that I'm discussing here. Each one is an integration with a level of higher self. And depending on where my thought and my perception is, it takes me to the discussion and the conversation with that level, that energetic level of higher self. That is what these little guys did. And so, anyway, I operate from all those levels at once, and that's why I hold the frequencies of these little guys in my field perpetually now. It is those frequencies that was the guide to this level of ascension, because that is what it is. It's ascension mastery. It's the mastery of your personal ascension, the light body expansion, the activation of self into the higher levels of consciousness, and that's what it's all about. So this new energy exchange is going to be for those persons who are teachers on that path. And again, going back to individuals and their personal diseases, yes, I could help these individuals, but part of doing energy exchange and the helping, just like Reiki, of those individuals, as those lower vibrations get removed from that individual, it comes through my field. And a lot of times, like astral gunk, astral stickum, it is like a sludge that sticks to my field, and I have to clean. And sometimes it takes a longer time than just a few hours to clean, even if I've worked with an individual for several hours. And so that level of monetary exchange would be far greater than what I'm offering to persons who are teachers of other levels. I don't really wish to work with persons helping them out of their disease, although I will help you in raising your frequencies. I hope that makes sense. We each have to identify our magnetics, our perceptions, our states of consciousness that gave us thought processes that were not right, that created the energy hang-ups and the disease within our being. That's up for the individual to go through and to identify. And if they can identify that, then I'm more than willing to help them. But to help them identify that, there's so many other teachers out there which are just fantastic, which are still working with persons on that linear level that I can't do any better than what those guys do. And so I would suggest going to them. But I can help those on the higher paths. And it's easier for me because those in the higher paths and looking for those higher levels of expanded awareness, that's where I'm playing. It's, to go back and to teach someone Ascension and to help them identify the magnetics, which is creating those ill feelings and ill diseases within their body. That's just, that was the very beginning of what I did. It took me 10 years to go through my process. I'm not saying it'll take you 10 years to go through yours, but I had a lot of chemical buildup, not from necessarily mushrooms, but from, being a mechanic, being in construction, being a jeweler, being a gold miner, being, tool and die maker, always having my hands in the oils and gasolines and stuff like that. It all built up within my body along with the other experiences that I was having. And I had to go through and to identify all that and to either solve the problem or remove myself from it and to clean up my diet and go through my detox process, which cleared up the diseases, raised my frequency, raised my light quotient, so the diseases would clear up. That's an individual thing we all have to go through. And persons who are, there are so many persons that are helping on that level. And I don't need to help on that level. I choose to help on much, much more advanced levels and work with persons who are teaching lots of other persons. That's the level which, I can serve best at right there. And I'll still continue doing my videos. This is a ramble on and on video. There's a lot that I've said here, and there's a lot of information that is available. But this level of expansion that I'm into right now, how can I describe the whole thing? I'm trying to pinpoint parts and pieces within it, and there's just no description for the whole thing. So the spherical sixth-dimensional state of being which I'm living in now is greatly enhanced and expanding, and the farther it grows out, probably the less I will be able to identify and put to words that which I'm experiencing. It's just where we're going. It's getting into the point where we just need to communicate with concepts and telepathy now. And so, anyway. Wow, what a wonderful past few weeks. What incredible energies I'm feeling within my field right now. And in the next few days, I'm going to be putting out a video of what I will have to offer for this new energy exchange. I'm just at this time right now, I'm receiving a lot of information on it and how this will all work. And so anyway, we'll see how that goes. The Opal Tour is here in the States now, and Lisa and Chris and Bob and all the guys from the OPPT are traveling the United States, and they're going to be coming through the Pensacola area here in early December and then down to Brooksville, Florida. And I might just have to go see both. And it's just like that. I need money for fuel to be able to go visit and to put my energies in to projects like this. So that's why I have to develop a new method of energy exchange. And so working with those 53 is looked down. Working with those persons on the higher path, that's where I'm going to choose to be. That's where I can serve the greatest. And those are the ones who will have greater understanding and who can help more and help change the world. Right now, we have to waken humanity up. But it's not the waking up with what's going down in the dissolving of the illusion, that which I did the expose on, what the Illuminati was doing. It's not that. We need help in the ascension process now, how to shift from the head into the heart to activate the heart chakra spinning, which activates the toroidal field, which activates the Merkaba, which is your energetic gyroscope, which expands into all the other chakras and your light body, which expands your field. And every time you hit another level of frequency, you're expanding more and more into your levels of higher self. It is that understanding, that relation that I will be expressing and try to help others with. So anyway, love y'all. It's been a good vid at 55 minutes, 55:11. Love y'all. Bye for now. Enjoy these frequencies. Man, are they just magnificent. And I tell you, we don't need these anymore. If you have not got to these frequencies, do these and feel what I feel.